Hey, this is Daniel from Adorama. This here is the fourth, video in this series of beauty shots. We're at the end of the day, the sun's falling here in New York City, and we're just wrapping up our last shot. These are the product shots. I decided to do the product shots at the end because you want to get all the stuff done with the models right away. Models are paying for their time, so you want to start the day with the models, get those out of the way, because if we go later in the day for the product shots, it doesn't really cost that much extra, just your time, some assistance, whatever. The models can be very pricey, so always try to, especially with beauty models, get them shot first. So here we are, and what we need to do for this shot, I decided was to shoot a bottle. Because I know that these can also often be tricky shots for people, so I decided to kind of set up something fun. This is a seaweed body wash. So when I went out and found this bottle to shoot, I grabbed a couple of those wash sponges, and I color coordinated it with the bottle, so I knew I was going to use that as a prop. I also knew I wanted to spray it down, so we had a spray bottle with glycerin that we could spray on there to put some drops on it. And what I did was, it's seaweed, it's on the shore or whatever, so I thought, what would be good for the background, right? I could just use a stark white background, but I have in my studio, I just happen to have here some beadboard that was painted, luckily enough, a little bit of a green color, so I just use that as my background. It's literally just behind the product. I backed it up a little bit, far enough away that I could light it separately, and threw it back there. And it gave us a little bit of texture. I just played around with the depth of field until it got where I wanted. I decided on F11. That gave us enough depth that I could see some detail, but not over the top. Also, we decided this felt kind of like end of the day feel, so we wanted to throw a little bit of color back there. Now, you could just change the white balance on your whole shot. However, if I do that, then my product's not gonna be the right color, and that's important that my product is the right color. So for this one, I chose to just throw some colored light in the background. We threw a little bit of a warming filter on the wall. I had a cookie that we had cut up for some stuff prior. I just threw a kind of generic pattern back there, making sure none of that light hit my product. For lighting the product, that's simple. I just use a softbox. Well, and all of this stuff behind me, right? You can see boards and Duvetyne and reflectors. And what that really is, I have this softbox out there, right? But this thing is dark brown, almost black. And black, when light is in the area and there's something that's black, that's literally a mirror. So you can't have no light on a bottle. I mean, I could go into it and just retouch out all the highlights, but if you do that, the bottle's gonna look flat. And it's not flat, it's round, it's reflective. You wanna show that. I just didn't want my light source itself to be like, hey, here's a beauty dish, or make it super obvious. So I did use a softbox, but we also matched it with the reflector, and we kind of put it at the edge of the bottle to kind of show the roundness of it, so I think it worked out really well. One problem I had was light was bouncing everywhere. I got a white studio. I was seeing myself, I was seeing the camera crew, I was seeing the ceiling. So we essentially built a tent. People have probably seen these tents that you can buy that are like white silk tents to put the thing in, but I didn't want white. If I had put it in a tent, then the whole thing would have this, I'd see the inside of the tent. What I wanted was black reflection. And the way I got that was foam core boards behind me. You can see the white sides, the other sides are black. They're literally creating the front reflection so that in the front of the bottle, that's what you're seeing. Overhead, I just took a sheet of Duvetyne, some cloth, and just put it over all my stuff, basically making a tent over my set of black so that none of the light that was hitting the ceiling would bounce down and light up my product, thus creating a really clean bottle. The only thing you really see in it is one highlight from a reflector, one highlight from my softbox, which I felt was acceptable. I worked it to a point where I thought it was good, and we're good to go. It's kind of a simple process, but it does take time because you got to spend the effort of doing test shots and shooting different ones and moving around your cards. We tried a few different versions using just cards to block the reflections. All these things are what can end up taking a long time. But just having an understanding of lighting and kind of knowing what you're going for is going to help you get through it pretty easily. So I think we got a really great shot. This whole series I think worked out really well, and it really I think shows what it's like to be on set for a day. If I'm hired to do a job for a beauty company, this is typically what I'm doing. I'm showing up first thing in the morning, I'm setting up some shots, I'm shooting various models, I'm shooting some product to go with it. These are all parts of your day, and put it all together, and that's being on set. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to Adorama TV, and I'll see you next time on set.